Tonight on Golf Central, 5 wins including a major plus the $10 million FedEx Cup bonus. Justin Thomas is the PGA Tour's Player of the Year. He sits down with Tim Rosefort.
It means a lot. It's probably something I can't really put into words or can't express, how much it means to me.
Phil Mickelson knows all about success on the big stage. Could a strong President's Cup propel him to his first win since 2013? Lefty's in the field this week in the season opener in Napa.
Really excited to play because I've been playing well. I'm excited to get back in competition. I think I'm going to have a good chance.
It's the first PGA Tour event of the season, but the last tournament of 2017 for Rory McIlroy, who's at the home of golf in hopes of getting his first win in a year.
I don't know how I've turned the corner or what I've done, but I feel like I'm playing some of the best golf I've played all year.
Sit back, relax, and pour yourself a glass. It's time for Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
What a 2016-17 PGA Tour season it was for Justin Thomas. He made an eagle to shoot 59 on his final hole in the first round of the Sony Open in Hawaii. He won his first major, the PGA Championship, and how fitting as the son of a PGA professional. His 5 wins overall helped him secure the FedEx Cup along with its $10 million bonus. Just incredible what he has done. Justin Thomas sits down a little later in the show with Tim Rosefort tonight on Golf Central. But first, David Faraday takes us back to where it all began for the newly crowned PGA Tour Player of the Year.
Never before done.
History made.
In the history of the U.S. Open.
With a sub-60 round.
A round of 9 under for Justin Thomas.
JT's got a ton of talent.
Record-breaking 59.
I can't do it. Can you do it? The guy hits the ball tremendously far.
That was a 299-yard 3-wood.
How many people can do this under control? He's got every shot.
With a short iron, a mid iron, a long iron.
It's awesome to watch. This is just incredible.
It's crazy. Great young talent. He's the best on the PGA Tour.
I've always been someone to set my goals really high. I play to be the best. If you don't set them, you can never achieve them.
He's always wanted to be a pro. I remember in junior golf, it was 110 degrees in Greenville, Mississippi, and he's wearing pants. I still remember the little kid, only kid wearing pants out there.
Even as a kid, Justin Thomas looked like a pro because he was raised by a pro.
Hi, I'm Mike Thomas, PGA professional in Harmony Landing Country Club here in Goshen, Kentucky. I'm here with my son Justin today to give you a tip that'll help your short game. Why don't you show him what we're talking about?
I would normally teach till 6 or 7 in the evening.
Good
He
job.
always waited all day long. He waited and waited and waited. We'd go play 9 holes. We would typically, at a very young age, we'd be playing for $1 out there, and he'd get mad.
It was competitive.
Up. Birdie won.
I'm a competitive person. I hate losing, so I wouldn't like it when I had to give my dad $1.
Yeah, okay. Good shot.
I kept this $1 for some reason. He had wrote a little note and put it on the $1, and he wrote on there, "Spend it wisely, you won't be getting many more." That was him talking smack and being mad that he lost, I
just remember there was a point when it stopped me giving him $1 and he couldn't get him off me anymore.
Big J.
And the winner of the boys 11 and 12 division of Goshen, Kentucky, shooting a 37, Justin Thomas.
I'm not talking any trash to him. I don't have any ammo. He's got all the ammo, so I can't talk any trash to him.
Savor the moment, Justin. You are a PGA Tour winner for the very first time. All of that potential has been reached right here in Southeast Asia.
Get your ball and bring it out here. There you go.
We have a lot of mementos from Justin's early beginnings here. There's some really cool things up here. I'm very fortunate to have a ball from every one of his wins. First one back in June of 2001. It's kind of ironic to see he shot 44. I think he was probably 7, 8 years old. He won the 12 and under division, and sure, he shoots 44 there, and his last ball is from the Sony Open where he set the scoring record. So 44, I guess, was a scoring record for him at the time, and now he's got the new scoring record up there.
He's watched me play since before I could remember. I would like to think I'm talented and I put in a lot of hard work as well, but it's the practice that I've learned from him.
Great shot. Good one, Big J. Hey, what do you say about that?
What?
That shot.
See you later, Whitey. What?
Okay, let's go putt. I'm very, very fortunate that we had that relationship. I'm very fortunate that it still continues today. He still will listen to me. Like any good student that I have, he'll question what I'm doing.
I'm stubborn, and I think when you hear from your dad, it's easier to be stubborn sometimes, but I've gotten a better understanding of that.
You gonna play golf?
Mike knew how to develop his son's love of golf because his father, Paul, did the same for him.
Good shot. My dad being a club pro for many years, I grew up around his golf course and his club in Ohio. We don't really know what else to do but to play golf or work in golf, you know, so that's pretty cool.
All three are members of the PGA of America, and the tie that binds them is the love they share for the game.
It's kind of in our blood. It's gone throughout the family. I guess it just was destiny for me to play.
When you do big things, you hear from the big names. In this case, a tweet from one of the biggest in our game, Jack Nicklaus. Congratulations to Justin Thomas on receiving the Jack Nicklaus Award for PGA Tour Player of the Year. Thomas joined a pretty elite list this year, becoming just the 5th player since 1960 at the age of 24 or younger to have 5 PGA Tour wins, including a major in one season. Joined tonight by a couple of PGA Tour veterans, Trip Eisenhower and 2-time winner Jason Bone. Jason, I'm sure that there are a lot of things that impress you about Justin Thomas. What stands out the most?
There are a lot of things that impress me about Justin Thomas, and the thing I think that stands out the most to me is how far he rips it for his size. I mean, he just puts everything he's got into his driver and he lets it go. And like we saw in the video, see you later, Whitey. I mean, he's still saying that today. I mean, we're seeing it. So this year, he was about 8th on driving distance at just under 310 yards. And I just love that. I love how mature he is. I love how he just puts everything into his golf swing, especially with his driver. And he gets a lot out of it. And it's one of my favorite things to watch when I have the opportunity to be around Justin.
Well, one of the things that I look at the evolution of Justin Thomas, where he came out and the few weaknesses he had in his game. I mean, you and I talked about him early on, and I was a big proponent. I thought Rookie of the Year for this young man. I knew so many great things were on the horizon, and I actually talked to his caddy, Jimmy Johnson, who caddied for a long time for Steve Stricker, one of the best wedge players, of course, in the history of the game. And I said, the only thing I see, Jimmy, is just a little bit off with the wedges. I see the speed that he has with the driver. That does generate prodigious distances off the tee, but I don't see him controlling his distance very well yet. And Jimmy said, that's exactly right. But he said, watch out when he does. Here he is an example at the PGA of a couple of wedge shots, those wedge numbers from 50 to 125. Now, he's going to have more of those than a lot of the players because of his length. We know what he can do on the par 5s, but I want you to look at these numbers right here. There you see first in proximity to the hole from 50 to 125. You're getting it that close to the hole that often. Well, we know what it can do on the par 5s, as I said, but what it did for him this season on the par 4s. In fact, he has the most par 4 birdie or percentage in the history going back to 1980. Rory McIlroy had the best up till then. It was 22.5%. Well, he averaged 24.3% birdieing par 4s, and that's courtesy of how much better he's gotten with his distance. That little bit of back off that he needed with the wedges. We've seen it with a number of very talented players over the years. Tiger Woods being one of those. Had to learn it, and he did. Justin Thomas has, and by the way, he's got a major to his credit now.
Yeah, absolutely. One other great thing about Justin Thomas is that he attended my alma mater, the University of Alabama.
Of course.
So
Yes.
roll tide to Justin Thomas, and congratulations
no.
on Player of the Year.
Yeah.
That was not where I was expecting you to go with that when you had another thing to say, especially considering Arkansas plays Alabama in just a few weeks, and nobody can hang with them. Moving on, though, mentally, I know that this summer he had started working with Bob Rotella, too, so it wasn't just the physical aspects of the game. I think that we really have watched this guy mature in that capacity on the golf course the last year or so, don't you think?
Well, no question about it, and in confidence of winning. You know, he got his first win at CIMB a couple of seasons ago, and he backed it up with following it up with another win. Then you look at some of the other things that he did along the way, the 59 in Hawaii. I mean, that's so special to hit that number, and then you throw in a 63 at a major championship at the time. That was the number, but you know what? This young man's going to be around for a long time. I don't think he's going to have that let-off year that some of these players have after a big year like this. I think he keeps the foot on the gas.
You want to throw in another roll tide?
Roll tide.
You're
Justin,
new.
keep the foot
I'll
on the gas. See you later, Whitey.
Okay, that's all. No more roll tides. How will Justin Thomas back up his Player of the Year campaign? It's just one of our 18 top storylines to watch in the new 2017-18 PGA Tour season. What do you think the top story of the new season will be? Give us your thoughts on social media with the hashtag 18ToWatch, and your best answers will be live on Golf Central. Also ahead, on the eve of his last event of the year, Rory McIlroy opens up on a disappointing and winless 2017. While it's a last for Rory, it's a first for Phil in the PGA Tour season opener. Mickelson warmed up today with some hoops at the Safeway Open. You'll hear his goals, not about basketball, for the new season, plus which event gives Phil the edge to get his first win since 2013. Here's a hint.
Golf Central is brought to you by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. ShipSticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.